Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With the name of Allah, we're going to start today's highly charged and high voltage electrical safety webinar. On behalf of SafeCon America, I would like to welcome all of you participants who are participating around the world. Thank you very much for joining this highly interactive and highly informative webinar. So this is your co-host for this webinar, Salah from Houston, United States, right now, but I'm based at New York. So with me, co-host for this webinar is Sayyid Wasif Naseem. When I will hand over to him, he will start telling you the salient features of these programs. So I would like to welcome all of you guys. We are going to start. Please shut down your cell phones so that you can minus all distractions. Right now, here in USA, US Central Time, 12 noon, India 11:30, Pakistan 11 morning, Saudi Arabia 8 p.m., UAE 9 p.m., and Pakistan 10 p.m. Sorry, 11. Pakistan 11 p.m., India 11:30, Bangladesh 12 a.m., Saudi Arabia 9 p.m., UAE 10 p.m. And here in USA 12 noon, afternoon. So, okay. So I would like to welcome all of you highly charged participants for this electrical safety professional development webinar. We are just going to start. If you will have questions, you can ask. Please mute your microphones. Switch off your microphones. This is my request so that we can live our webinar. If you have questions, you can stop speaker and you can raise your hands so that you can ask your questions. You can write down your questions in the chat box as well. This will be around 40-45 minutes and followed by Q&A sessions. We will take your questions as well, and we will announce a great discounted package as well to join the program for you participants. And we also we will happy to give you certificate of completion, certificate of participation to this professional development webinar that will be issued by SBIC America, and this would be free of cost. This is another thrilling news for you guys, but for that you have to stay till end. You have to watch, you have to participate the webinar, and we will ask a simple question. That question you have to respond, and if you respond that question, we will issue certificate of participation of this webinar to be issued by SBIC America in your name. And that will be free of cost. No charge, no cost. All right. So with the name of Allah, we're going to start electrical safety professional development webinar. You are attending this webinar from the platform of SBIC SafeCon Bureau of Inspection and Certification. It's a brief introduction to you guys. We have an office in New York, an active presence in Gulf states, all Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, even north of Africa, Egypt, Morocco, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. We are a global certification and training body. We are pioneer. Before this certification, you know that we are pioneer of ASP and CSP outside America. We launched that in 2012. And since then, we have helped thousands of professionals to become certified safety professional from BCSP America. We are also pioneer of CFPS, Certified Fire Protection Specialist certification, and other NFPA courses and certification outside America. We are recognized as undisputed pioneer and leader, innovator in the field of health and safety. We are also pioneer in OSHA education around the world. From the platform of SafeCon, to date, more than 20,000 professionals have taken certification from our platform. So this is our immaculate achievement. And we are the trusted brand of health and safety. People trust us from around the world. from all corners of world. The good thing is that whether it is South Asia, whether it is Far East Asia, whether it is Americas, Europe, Australia, Pakistan, India, GCC states, we have students, Africa, we have students from around the world. So we enjoy trust of safety professionals around the world. We are making a difference. We are making a difference since 2012. So more than 11 years, more than more than 11, 12 years in commercial training and inspection and certifications and trainings. And we have corporate clients from around the world, more than 500 clients in the Gulf states, America, and Pakistan. So this is a brief introduction of the company, the brand, and from the platform you are getting these information, and you will get certificate of this webinar from issued by SBIC USA. That will be verifiable from our US website as well. The good news is that. Okay. So from here, I would like to invite my co-host and the faculty of this program, um, Sayyid Wasif Naseem. I'm going to make him host. So Wasif will going to tell you everything about the electrical safety certification program by NFPA. Okay, Wasif, over to you.
Yep.
Wasif is a highly dynamic professional, and you will love his presentation. He would be in charge of our faculty program of this great electrical safety certification. Wasif, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mr. Anjar, for providing this opportunity. And good evening, all, for joining this session in such an awkward time. And sorry for that, because we have to accommodate people from all around the globe. Meanwhile, I will be adding some people as we move on, so just bear with me. So this is an introduction to our new certification program. And we are launching it with the name or the title of Mastering Electrical Safety Best Practices. This will be based on NFPA 70E approach. Please mute.
Okay. I would like to request all participants, please switch off your microphone. If you have question, then you can raise your hand so that a speaker should not feel any disruption. Thank you very much.
Right. So this course is basically a road to certified electrical safety compliance professional, CSP certification, which is being offered by NFPA USA, National Fire Protection Association, and it is one of the highly rated and highly regarded certification globally right now in the domain of electrical safety. So this certification is not only for the people who are within the US or working in the Canada, but the NFPA 70 is such a gold standard. It has been adopted by many international bodies who are working in the domain of electrical safety in New Zealand and Australia, as well as globally as well. NFPA 70E is now being adopted by leading organizations in Pakistan and Middle East as well. If you have just heard about the NFPA has adopted this the NFPA 70 best practices, and it is making it mandatory requirement for all its licensee to opt for it, and they have come up with some NFPA safety code, which also have take references from NFPA 70E as well. Right. So about myself, I will be the speaker for this webinar, and will be the mentor for those people who will be going for the certification program related to electrical safety best practices. So I'm certified electrical safety compliance professional, CSP certified, one of the few right now globally who are being certified. I was among first 300 CSP certified globally, and was the first one in Pakistan who got this CSP certification back in 2019. So that certification, which I got in 2019, was about to expire in 2022. So I just had my recertification done as well as we move on, I will going to talk about those recertification process as well. In addition to having the CSP credential under my belt, I was the first CAMA certified Pakistani professional. I'm holding Institute of Asset Management diploma in domain of asset management and certified practitioners in asset management from Asset Management Council Australia as well. Lead auditors certificate courses I have attended for 9001, 14001, and 50001. Bachelor's in electrical engineering and master's in engineering management. My area of interest and expertise, you can say that electrical safety, arc flash studies and risk assessment, asset management, maintenance and reliability. And now with all those energy issues coming around, so focusing on net zero engineering and environment management. I have more than 13 plus years of experience with one of some of the big names in Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and currently working in UK with one of the utility industries. So this is my recertification, which I got a few weeks back, and now it is being recertified till 2025. Right. So today's agenda, we will be discussing a generic, a quick look on introduction to electrical safety at the workplace. So if you are working in general industries, in construction industries, and oil and gas, and if you are working for utility industries, so what are the electrical hazards you will going to find in those workplaces, and how 70E approach those hazards. Then we will talk about some international certification in domain of electrical safety. Then we will introduce specifically CSP, what it is, and please mute if. Then we will focus on. Right. Then we will focus on CSP certification. So there are multiple type of the certifications available from the domain of NFPA 70, but we will focus on NFPA 70. We will focus on CSP certification. Then what value you will going to add in your organization, and what value it will going to add as a part of your professional development. We will talk on those aspects as well. Then how to crack CSP in the first attempt, we will try to cover those points as well. Right. And how the CEFCON will be your partner in this road to CSP. Right. So starting with some introduction level about electrical safety at the workplace. So what type of the work we are performing around electrical installations in our organization, whether we are working in construction industries, in general industries, or we are working for some manufacturing industries or oil and gas. So if you're going to summarize all the type of the activities, you will find that either you will be performing some operations. Those operations will fall under the normal operation category, or will going to fall under the energized operations. So there is a difference between normal operations and the energized operations as per the 70E concept. So what are those things? We will just park those concepts for detailed discussion. So the energized operations as per NFPA 70E is about those type of the operations which you are performing on electrical assets, in which you know there is a chances of electric shock or arc flash hazard is there. On the other hand, the normal operation as per 70E is being performed on those electrical assets. Those are maintained over the period of its life cycle correctly. Those have been installed correctly. Those have been selected, and the electrical equipment have been selected and installed correctly, have been maintained over the period of time correctly. There is no open electrical circuits are there, and there is no chances, or there is no impending failure within those electrical assets. So if you are very dead sure, and if you are very much sure that asset is safe and from all the aspects, you can perform live operations on those particular assets. So this is only about the operation. It's not about performing repair or replace tasks on those particular assets. So either we will be performing operations on our assets or ringman or switchgear in order to establish an electrically safe work condition. So this is not equivalent to de-energization, or it is not equivalent to shutting off the power. So NFPA use the term of establishing an electrically safe work condition or electrically safe work condition, which is not equivalent to de-energization, or it is not equivalent to simply put off. So it is, so there are 8 steps which we have to take into the consideration. Then we can say that this electrical asset or this component have been put into an electrically safe work condition. Second type of the work in any type of the industries around the electrical installation, either we will be performing some diagnostic task, testing, voltage measuring, thermography, inspection, or we will be performing some repair or replacement work, which falls under the category of physical alteration as per the 70E approach, or we will be performing some housekeeping near our electrical installations. So if you look into your activities into your organization, you will find that only these type of the activities you are performing in your organization, right? So what type of the work is being carried out here? If you look into this task, so they are only performing some visual inspection using some tool. It could be used for the thermography, or it could be ultrasonic discharge testing or TUV, which they are performing, but they are keeping a distance there, because this falls under the category of live work within the 70E category. So they are only operating on voltage of 120 or 220 volts, but they are in complete gear, and they are wearing an arc-rated cloth. They have the helmet there, face shield is there. They are wearing the proper rubber insulated gloves and the leather insulated glove, which as per NFPA 70 fulfill the requirement against the R flash hazard as well. And they are wearing an arc-rated clothing around 8 to 12 cals per centimeter square, or in the other category, if you are using a PP category method, so it can fall under the PP category 2 or PP category 3. So in our organization in which we are performing work, maybe we don't take so much care, and we are performing those type of the inspection without taking into the consideration that this opening of the panel in order to access those electrical parts is a live work as per these 70E requirement. So our risk assessment need to be performed, and you have to know what will be the incident energy at that particular location, what should be your working distance, and what should be the qualification of the person who need to be qualified to perform these particular tasks. So NFPA 70 focus on these elements of having a qualified person for a particular task. Similarly, other type of the work, what type of the work is being carried out here? So it could be some repair or the replacement work, or it could be some type of the diagnostic work. But in this type of the work, he is directly come in contact with those electrical assets. So the working distance here is much closer as per the working distance which was showed before. So here, as the working distance changes at a particular location, the incident energy changes. So we should know as the qualified person that what will be the incident energy at particular working distance. And if the incident energy changes at a particular working distance, the personal protective equipment requirement also changes. So NFPA 70 talks about what will be the PP's requirement and the R-rated clothing requirement when you are working close to an electrical equipment where the incident energy is different as per the task which you are performing for. So as the incident energy changes, so the requirement of PPs also changes. So there is no one fit for all, that if I have bought a 12 cals per centimeter square PPs, that PP will going to work if I'm working at a working distance of 36 inches. The same PP will going to work if I'm working at a working distance of 18 inches. Change in the working distance will going to change the incident energy, and you will require to have new risk assessment need to be performed, and you have to select your personal protective equipment accordingly. So these type of the information and the concept is very much important when we are working on the live parts and the equipment as well. But still, the priority of the 70E is not to perform work on the live, but the priority again of the 70E is to establish an electrically safe work condition and to perform your job there. Another thing is very important as per 70E is that first we have to identify the different type of the task which we are performing in our organization and categorizing those tasks into the risk, and based on the risk, what the qualification is required for a person to perform those particular tasks. For example, if I'm only performing some inspection and my panel door is closed, so I have a window there, I can perform thermography outside using that window. So the risk level is low. But if I'm performing the same task with my panels open, so that means the risk level is increasing. So maybe that particular person who is less qualified, qualification is not in terms of engineering, it's not in terms of master's degree, or is not in terms of any other thing. Qualification as per NFPA 70 is that the person knows about the hazards, he knows about the associated risk, he knows how to put controls on or to apply risk there, control there, in order to lower the risk as low as reasonably practical, and then apply for other type of the if it is me not reduced, then go for the personal protective equipment requirement. So it says that first you have to identify the task which you are performing in your organization, categorize those tasks on the basis of the risk, and identify the qualification requirement for execution of the task. So all the tasks which you are performing in your organization does not fall under those green or yellow category. There will be some tasks which will going to fall under the red category. For example, if you are commissioning or if you are restoring your electrical supply just after failure, or if there was some problem within those equipment were there, and you have make some maintenance there, and now you are re-energizing those particular equipment circuits. So the risk levels are at that particular location is higher. So what are the type of the controls which you have to apply in order to keep yourself, being a qualified person, and other unqualified person which will be around you, how you will make sure that those people or those employees will be safe. So 70 talks about different type of the best practices which can help reduce the risk associated with those hazards to low as reasonably practical. Second thing is that in any organization, if we talk about, so there will be different type of the hazards there. There will be trip hazard, slip hazard, or any type of the hazard is there. So just a comparison which was given by the 70 in one of its training program is that if you have any type of the hazards in your organization, and you have found that there is 300 recordable injuries, so there is a chances of one fatality is there. On the other hand, if you notice that you have only 10 recordable injuries in your organization related to electrical hazard, so the conversion rate is 10:1. So this electrical hazard, it's so much dangerous that if you have only 10 recordable injuries, so there is a chances of one fatality is there, as compared to if we talk about other type of the recordable injuries which have resulted due to some near misses, or those were basically indirectly dependent on the risk behavior. So the ratio is not 3:1, but the ratio is 10:1 for all the near misses, recordable injuries, and conversion of those recordable injuries into one fatality. So this shows the fact of this silent killer, or this shows that how much strong this silent killer is, because you cannot visually see that electricity is flowing around your conductors, or electricity is present there or not, until and unless you are applying some best practices in order to identify the hazards there. So the primary focus of NFPA 70E is to protect employees. So it does not talk about that how you will going to reduce your downtime, or how you will going to increase your profitability, or how you will increase the uptime of your assets. The focus of NFPA 70E is employee safety. So if anyone asks that this standard, what is the purpose of this standard? What is the focus of this standard? So the focus of the standards of 70E is employee safety. By putting those best practices in your organization, which is covered as the requirements of NFPA 70, you will you will going to have, or you will going to find other type of the benefits coming out of applying those best practices. So it can make a good business case for the management to approve the application of NFPA 70 in your organization. For example, if you are applying the best practices as per the 70E, so there will be less incidents there. So the people will more focus on establishing an electrically safe work condition and then performing job rather than performing job on the live system, which may cause some flashover, or it may cause due to some human error. There is flashover happen, and the electrical asset is lost. So it will automatically lower your replacement cost, because less number of incidents will be there in the organization, and less number of replacement or the capital expenditure will be there. Unknown duration outage. So we know that we are establishing an electrically safe work condition for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. So we know about the outage duration, as compared to if there is some incident happen, if there is some flashover happen, that shutdown duration can go for 1 day, for 7 days, or it can go for beyond that as well, because maybe the asset is not available in your store. You have to procure it from somewhere. So unknown duration outage will not be there. You know that you are establishing an electrical safe work condition to perform that particular job, so that risk is also lower. High insurance cost. If there is multiple incidents happening in an industry frequently, so the insurance will see that the best practices are not being applied in those industries. So that means the insurance of that particular industry will be high. But if the best practices as per these 70Es are applicable there, so there will be less number of incidents there. So the insurance cost of that particular industry will also be less. Loss opportunities. If we are applying best practices, that means less number of incidents are there. The machines uptime are there. So we can deliver the commitment. What we are producing. It could be tiles, it could be glass, or it could be any other product or the services which we are delivering. So we can deliver those services to our customers. So there will be less chances of loss opportunities that another competitor is taking our product or services. Regulatory fines will be less because there will be less number of incidents will be there. So regulatory fines will be lower there. Just a second, let me mute. Okay. Reputation damage. This is one of the concerns nowadays everywhere. If any incidents is happening, so it is coming in the newspaper. It is coming in. It is being made public. So those are the reputational damage are also less. So first priority of applying NFPA 70E is to have an employee safety. The second priority, which is not explicitly said in the 70, but it could but those could be a good reason if you want to go to the top management for the application of NFPA 70E in their organization. You can make a good business case around these points, that these are the other type of the benefits which we can extract if we are applying 70E requirements in our organization. Right. So what are the type of the electrical hazards covered in the 70? Electrical shock is covered in 70 because it is one of the first type of the electrical hazard known since beginning. Then arc flash was recognized as an electrical hazard in 1982, and it was formally included in the NFPA 70 in 1995. So since 1995, arc flash hazard is known as an electrical hazard. Up till now, in many organizations, the arc flash hazard are not being considered as an electrical hazard, and no risk assessment is being provided related to arc flash hazard. So you won't find awareness in industries related to arc flash, what arc flash is, what is the incident energy concept is there, what are the PP's requirement, how we can calculate those incident energy, etc. and etc. So as it is now included in international standard 70, which is available worldwide, if some incident happens in any organization and employees went to court and try to sue the employer, he can. And the employer cannot say that we are not aware about this hazard. It's not known to us. So it is commonly known. So it's an employer responsibility to research about this hazard and to include the associated risk in their risk register and apply the control in order to provide safety to their employees. Still, the electric shock, it makes the highest amount of fatality in an organization. So around 98% of the fatal occupational electrical injuries are related to electric shock. Only 2% to 5% is related to arc flash, but the devastating effect of the arc flash is so high that it has started to gain recognition worldwide, and many organizations are performing those arc flash studies, and they are performing those risk assessment, and they are applying the personal protective equipment, arc rated clothing, etc. To their employees. So this is an hazard which is covered by 70 in addition to, and there is other type of the hazard like arc blast hazard, which is also covered by the 70. Right. So this is the gold standard, NFPA 70E standard for electrical safety in the workplace. It's only a 100-page standard with the main content in first 50 pages. Then it is covered by the annexures and other thing. In the NFPA 70E handbook, you will going to find further explanation and information about the implementation part, or if you want to have further, if you want to know further information, how you will going to decode the standards requirements. So those explanations you can find in the 70E handbook, and those are available online. You can go online and you can purchase those standard as well. And there is also link given, nfpa.org/link. I think for $9.9 per month, you can access to all the available standards online, whether it's related to 70E, 70B, NFPA 70, or it is related to fire protection, building protection, any type of the standard which NFPA have published. You can view those standards online by following this link there. If I shortly give you the overview of the NFPA 70E standard, you will going to find in Article 90 there is an introduction to the standard which talks about its purpose, scope, and it talks about the organization on which the 70E is applicable. Chapter number 1 is related to safety related work practices. It will going to cover all the safety related work practices as per the 70E requirement, and it is basically the backbone of the standard. So these 22 pages is basically the backbone of this standard, which we talk about working on the life system, how you will going to establish an electric safe work condition, how you will going to perform your arc flash risk assessment, shock risk assessment, etc. So all those things are covered from Article 100 to Article 130. Chapter number 2 is related to safety related maintenance requirement, which talk about only those safety related maintenance requirement which is related to employee safety or human safety. So it won't be talking about that what type of the maintenance you have to perform in order to increase the life of your asset or to increase the uptime of your asset. No, those special maintenance techniques you can find in NFPA 70B. But 70E will talk about only those type of the maintenance requirement which is related to employee safety. Chapter number 3 is related to safety requirements of special equipment like batteries, rooms, lasers, power electronics, electrolytic cells, and research and development laboratories. Then there is an annexure there which provide further information to the main requirements of 70E. So those annexures are basically not the part of your mandatory requirements, but those are there to explain the important concept which are covered in the main body. So all these articles are mandatory if you are applying 70E, and so these requirements which are covered with the shell statement within these pages need to be applied in your organization. So if an auditor comes and wants to audit your organization against NFPA 70E approach, if you say that you have applied the 70, so they will going to audit your organization based on the requirements which are covered in this part, in this body part. The annexure is not mandatory part, but it is there to further explain the requirements covered in the 70 main body. So what are the essential elements of the 70? If I just want to summarize this 100 pages, so I need only 5 bullet points to summarize the complete NFPA 70E standard. Just a second, right? So 70 talks about that you have to establish an electrical safety program. So what is an electrical safety program? That is covered in the article there. So there are 13 elements which you need to cover in order to establish an electrical safety program. Personnel must be trained, and the employer must determine who is qualified and who is not qualified. So here the qualification again is not related to bachelor's, master's, or engineering degree. There is a specific definition in Article 100 which talks about the qualified person and unqualified person as per the NFPA 70. So those important things which we need to understand and apply in an organization. The main goal of this standard is not to promote work on the life system, but the main focus of this standard is to work on the system or on the equipment which has been put into an electrically safe work condition. So there are 8 steps for establishing an electrically safe work condition. Those are covered in Article 120. Then it talks about planning is a key of eliminating energized work. 70 gives an option that you can perform work on the life system as per Article 110.4. But again, it says that, yep, there are some condition in which you can perform work on the life system, but still you have to plan in order to find whether there is some chances are there that you can shift from live work or energized work to work on the system which has been put into an electric safe work condition. Then it talks about the risk assessment must be performed for all justified energized work. So all the work which fall under the exemptions category of Article 110.4, it says that you have to perform a risk assessment. And when it talks about the risk assessment, 70 covers the risk assessment related to shock risk assessment and arc flash risk assessment need to be performed. And then you have to come up with some additional measure and safe work practices, which are basically the outcome of those risk assessments. So what are those safe work practices are there? So it talks about the boundaries requirement. So the shock risk assessment will going to talk about the limited approach boundary and the restricted approach boundary. The limited approach boundary is basically the triggering point for unqualified person, that no unqualified person should approach those boundary without being escorted by the qualified person. The restricted approach boundary is again a shock protection boundary, which is an outcome of shock risk assessment. It talks about that this is the boundary. Beyond that, if a qualified person need to approach energized electrical equipment or parts, he should be wearing a personal protective equipment rated for that particular voltage. He should have an energized work permit. He should have the required tool in order to access those electrical equipment. The outcome of the arc flash risk assessment will be this arc flash boundary, which talk about that no unqualified person should cross this boundary, arc flash boundary, or no qualified or unqualified person should not cross this boundary without wearing the required personal protective equipment rated for that particular incident energy level there. So that boundary basically triggers that you should be wearing an arc resistance switchgear in order to cross that particular boundary. So those are basically the outcome of the risk assessment. And another type of the risk assessment or another outcome of the risk assessment is the selection of the appropriate personal protective equipment as well. So if you have a transformer here, so 70 talks about that there will be a live part there. So it might be at the 11 kV high voltage side, and on the low voltage side it could be 0.4 kV. So what will be the restricted approach boundary and the limited approach boundary will be there, and what will be the arc flash boundary there. So it basically provides you a practical tool to calculate those boundaries requirements and talks about the safe work practices which can be applied in order to keep your employees safe. So one of the example is like this. This person is performing some thermography, for example, but this door is open. The panel door is open, and he's accessing some live part. So this may result in some flashover. So there will be some huge amount of incident energy will be there. So this person has put this barricade there. This barricade area could be the arc flash boundary. So a person who is standing beyond that arc flash boundary, he could be an observer, or he could be working in some apprenticeship, or he's a person under training. So he's not wearing an R rated clothing, but he's outside an R flash boundary, so he is safe to stand there. So 70 talks about those work practices, safe work practices. It talks about how you will be going to calculate those boundaries, the arc flash boundaries and the shock protection boundaries, and how those practices will be applied for your particular organization. Similarly, other type of the image, we can see that a person is performing some switching operation. There will be an incident energy greater than 40 cals per centimeter square or above. So the person who is operating, he's wearing the right amount of PPs in order to perform those switching operation. But there's another person who is standing, maybe he is a first or first aid sponsor, or any or he might be having another role. So she is standing outside this barricade area. So this barricade area could be equivalent to at the distance of our flash boundary, or it could be greater than that particular area as well. So she is wearing an R-rated clothing there because she might have to enter that particular area in case some flashover happens in order to extinguish those fires. So she's wearing an R-rated clothing with her. Right. So this was just a one part, topic number one, related to the electrical hazards in our organization and what 70E talks about, what and whether the 70E has the solutions to the problem which different type of the industries is facing. So I've tried to summarize that 40 hours in I think less than 15 minutes, just to give you a view that 70 have answer to all the issues which you are facing in your organization. Moving to topic number two, what are the international certifications are there in domain of electrical safety? So if you go onto the website of the NFPA 70E NFPA website, you will going to find 3 certifications right now available. One is Certified Electrical Safety Compliance Professional, CESP, which is the highest most certification right now available. Then followed by CESW, Certified Electrical Safety Worker. Then third one is the CEST, Certified Electrical Safety Technician. So these are the 3 type of the certifications right now available. If we talk about the CSP, why it is important, those people who have already got ASP, CSP under their belt and who are working at some manager level, or who are working at some level where they want to improve their overall safety program. And one of the challenge which they are facing right now in their safety program is related to electrical safety. So 70E will focus on electrical safety only, and its credential CSP. In the CSP certification, we will only talk about the hazards related to electrical hazards. We won't be talking about other type of the hazards which you have in your industry. So that will be taken care by your ASP or CSP certifications. So CSP is the only certification of its kind to document your proficiency in all aspects of NFPA 70. If you have CSP under your belt, that means you are knowledgeable on the 70E requirements, and you can apply those requirements in your organization as well. So NFPA 70 certification is designed to meet the needs of electrical and safety professionals who oversee electrical safety program at corporate levels, or who manage engineers, contractor, electrician, and other personnel exposed to electrical hazards. So this certification is ideal for both electrical engineers as well as for safety professionals who are working at the corporate level, or who want to improve the overall electrical safety culture in their organization. CESW certification is the second type of the certification. It is designed for electricians and other type of the electrical performance professionals who basically perform electrical work and who are basically the people who are who are actually performing those tasks there. So how they can save themselves from electrical hazards. So this type of the certification CSW will going to cover those aspects. Again, it is based on NFPA 70 2021 edition. CEST certification is the third certification, which is the lowest one in this package. It's not for electrical person or electrician, but those people who are working in the environment driven by the electrical hazard. So they can be HVAC technicians, they can be installer, maintainer of other type of the equipment, but they are working uh, at a particular location where there are electrical hazards are there. So they should know about the hazards which are there, and how they can save themselves from those electrical hazards. So this certification is basically targeted to those people. But if you are really looking for some gold certification, I will ask you people to directly go for the CSP certification rather than going for CST, CSW, and CSP certification, because uh, all three certifications are based on NFPA 70E, and and if you are meeting those criteria, then directly go for the CSP certification rather than on the other certification. So what its eligibility criteria are there? Let's talk on this one, eligibility criteria. First, eligibility criteria of entering into the CSP certification program is that you have to have a 40 hours of electrical safety training certificate from these sources. So either you have to got a certificate, training certificate from 70 or 70 um, identify contractors. Our certificate is also acceptable by the NFPA. So we will be conducting those 40 hours, and the certificate which is being produced by the CEFCON will be accepted by NFPA 70E as so you will be meeting this first requirement, that minimum you should have a 40 hours of electrical safety training under your belt. Second is that if you are an electrical engineer, then you have to show of 2 years of working experience if you have a bachelor's degree. This is another requirement. If you have an associate degree, then you have to show 4 years of working experience. If you are an electrician, you are not an electrical engineer, but electrician, then you have to show more number of hours. Like if you have, sorry, it is covered here. For associate degree, you have to have 4 years of working experience. If you have a bachelor's degree, you have to have a 2 years of verifiable working experience with electrical power system. In any domain, either you are working as a maintenance person, operation person, planning, or protection engineer, and any type of the experience you can show in order to be eligible under this category. Next one is that if you are non-electrician, non-electrical engineer, yeah, that means you are purely a safety professional. So if you have a CSP certificate, like certified safety professional, and you have a 3 years of working experience with electrical power system, you can also enter into this certification program. Or if you have some bachelor's degree, or it's related to engineering, technology, or any type of the discipline, and you are being able to show that you have a 3 years of working experience, then you can also uh, uh, you also basically get eligible for the certification program. Related to some cost requirement, exclusive of the training fees, you have to pay $399 directly to NFPA as an initial application exam. So once you have got your 40 hours of training, you have got your bachelor's degree with you, you have your experience certificate, you will going to apply online to book your exam. Once your application is accepted, they will going to ask you to pay 399 USD for booking your CSP exam in one of their test centers. If you want, if for any reason, if you have not been able to pass your exam in the first attempt, you have 2 attempts more, which you can go for in the same year, and the retest fees is $199. And there is another recertification required every 3 years in order to keep your certificate live, and the fees is of 180 USD is applicable for recertification every 3 years. So maximum, the exam is around 3 hours exam. It's an open book, and 110 multiple choice questions answer will be there. You don't have to memorize anything. It's an open book. The standard will be with you. It's a computer based protected exam. You don't have to write long answers. You don't have to do anything like this. So there will be a question followed by 4 options. If you have the concept right, basics right, you will going to hit the target. Right. Moving forward, for the retesting, I told you that you can retest for 2 times in one year. If you are not been able to pass in your 3rd attempt, then you have to wait further 12 months, and then you can reapply for the exam. Okay, once you have got the certification, your recertification time starts from there, and you have to recertified within 3 years. So I got my certification back in December 2019, and it was valid till 2022 December. I have got my recertification done recently, and now it is eligible. Now I am eligible for or I'm holding this credential for next 3 years. So once you become a CSP certified, you must recertified every 3 years, and you have to pay those 180 USD. So there is recertification criteria as well. So in order to recertified every 3 years, you have to meet 50 points, or you have to get those 50 CPDs. So those 50 CPDs can be managed through different channels. If you are providing some training, or you are receiving some training related which can make up to 50 points, then you can apply with the recertification based on those evidence plus the recertification fees. Or you can do another type of the activities like attending some conferences, delivering some lectures, or publishing some articles in journals. So those can provide you those required amount of CPDs as per the given information here. Right. So what is the role of CSP holder within your organization? So what you will be doing as a CSP in your organization? First thing, what you will be doing is the change management. This is the most important thing, and the type of the thing which you can expect from a person who is a CSP certified. So the change management, maybe in your organization right now, 240 volts and above is considered as a voltage of having some dangers there. But 70 says that 50 volts and above, if you are working on any electrical system which is 50 volts and above, you have to establish an electric saver condition. So 50 volts and above is something which is considered as a live work. So you have to perform some justified and authorized work, or you have to go for an establishing an electric saver condition. This is a change management approach. You have to write your procedures. You have to train your employee. You have to bring change in the working culture. Then you have identified that there is lacking in your system. You have to perform some incident energy analysis. You have to bring some consultant here. You have to perform some studies of your network in order to determine what is the right now incident energy at different location in your organization. So based on that, you will be proposing different type of the PPs in your organization. So you will be talking with the top management about the outcome of the risk assessment. What are the finance required? What are the budget required? What are the changes required in your organization to make your employees safe? Once it has been approved by the top management and it has been provided to you, so you will then talking to your electricians and and the workforce about the application of those policies and procedures. So you will be involved in the development of the policies and procedure and the safe work practices, and then you will be involved in the implementation audit, and you will be involved in making sure that those things are being implemented in the organization and are effective as well. So it will be a huge opportunity for you to take some leading role within your organization. So you will be a subject matter expert having some holistic view of electrical asset lifecycle activities, systems, and what are the type of the hazards associated with those electrical asset lifecycle activities, and how you can apply the 70E requirements um, in order to mitigate those hazards. Involvement in the development of your electrical safety program for your organization based on NFPA 70, training and development of the personnel who are exposed to electrical hazards within your organization, auditing your electrical safety program implementation and its effectiveness. Now, for those people who have joined from Pakistan, there is a culture developing that you can have a freelance opportunity for auditing the organizations, because this is becoming one of the requirements from from some regulatory body that you have to opt for for 70 in your organization. So there will be shortly there will be a requirement of auditors who are CSP certified, so they can go in an organization and check whether uh, whether the organization have implemented the 70 requirements are there or not. So there will be some requirements of freelance auditors, their consultants there. So those are the opportunities will be there for you people who are working in your organization or who are looking for some additional activities as well. Initiating and leading some innovative projects within your organization, which might not be before you have not found those projects, but this will going to give you a license to go for other type of the initiative within your organization. If you go to LinkedIn now and just type the CSP in your bar, and try to search, you will going to find hardly 400 and 500 people who are globally CSP certified. And if you try to find how many CSP certified people are there in Pakistan, in Saudi Arabia, in UAE, you won't be find many there. In Pakistan, there are only 10 CSP certified people. Out of 10, 9 are my students. You will going to find in Saudi Arabia. If I take you to that slide first, if you find CSP certified in Saudi Arabia, so there are many trained people in on based on NFPA 70, but there are 5 to 6 CSP certified. More than 70% students have been CSP certified under my belt. You will going to find 4 and 5 CSP certified from UAE, Kuwait, Qatar. So very less number of CSP certified people globally. So there is more chances of shining if you have those CSP's credential under your belt. Right. Let me check the time now, how much it is. Okay. So we are running short of time. Just give me 1 minute just to crack, and then we will going to take some Q&A. Right. So there are 5 subject areas or the domain which is being tested during your exam. The first domain is related to electrical safety program. The second domain is related to electrical safety related work practices. The third domain is related to electrical safe work condition, and the fourth domain is related to work involving electrical hazards. And the last is around safety related requirements of special equipment. So chapter number 1 and chapter number 2 of the standard will going to make around 90% of the course content, and the chapter number 3 will going to make around 10% of your exam content. So your exam will be based on this 5 domain, and once you have scored more than 70% in each domain, you will be awarded this CSP certification. So I have trained around more than 100 people globally up till now, and out of them around 18 people are CSP certified globally. One from US, I think around 10 people from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain. So those are the areas I have produced up till now, the CSP people. Right. So who should go for the CSP? it's not only for the electrical engineers. If you are safety leader, risk managers, asset managers, if you are ASP, CSP certified, because so this certification will more focused on the electrical hazards. So this certification is for all. So this is not only related to electrical engineers. One of my first CSP certified person, he's from Saudi Arabia, Yambo. And he does not have any background in electrical engineering. He was the first CSP certified. So, and his background was basically in safety purely. So this is not the technical type of the course, but it talks about the safe work practices and other type of the things which can be easily digested by the people who are not electrical engineers, but who have passion to learn new things and apply those things. Right. So this is from my side, the presentation which I had for you people. Now I will shift
Yeah.
to.
Thank you very much, Wasif Naeem, Sayyid Wasif Naseem, our faculty head for this training program. Very highly charged presentation, articulate. I really appreciate superb presentation. You covered all the information. Before we take questions, quick questions from participants, I would like to summarize. I would like to sum up. Dear participants, basically this is 40 hours NFPA 70E training, right? And this, after attending this training, you would be eligible to apply for exam certification, NFPA certification. And what type of certification? 3 certification. You can apply for CESCP, you can apply for worker, you can apply for technician. But the gold standard is, again, CESCP, right? So if you're not going to if you're not going for exam certification, you can still complete your training, and SBIC America will issue you 2 certificates after completion of this training: NFPA 70E and Certified Electrical Safety Specialist. So you are still getting 2 certification from SBIC America that will be verified from our US website. All right, so I would like to question from you guys, how many electrical engineers we have right now? How many electrical engineers? Can you please raise your hands? Okay. Awesome. So have you guys previously heard about this certification, CESCP, Certified Electrical Safety Compliance Professional? If you heard about that, if you heard about CESCP, this is billion certification. Trust me, this will supercharge your career. This will recharge your career. And the investment is not so much high. And I would like to announce a thrilling offer, a supercharge offer for you guys for this program. The standard, the training cost is standard training cost is around 2,500 AED, Saudi Arabia Real. But for the first batch, we are introducing a special price of just 1,599 AED, Saudi Arabia Real. 1,599. If you register by November 28, you have 3 days to go, right? So if anyone is would like to enroll, our registration line will be open, and we will enroll you. We will happily enroll you under this special price of just 1,599 for 40 hours training. This is the training cost, which is the requirement to attempt for exam. Without meeting this requirement, you won't go for exam, right? This is the eligibility requirement. So without having 40 hours training, you cannot sit for exam. So this is the eligibility. So we are, for this 40 hours training, we are subsidizing the training cost, just 1,599, valid till November 28, right? Okay, so now we would like to take your questions. First, we will, there were some written questions in the chat box, and And Wasif is going to respond you first.
Okay, right. Starting with Sikandar, what is thermography? So it's a tool used to perform or to identify the hot spots uh, in the electrical systems, normally at the connection points. So it is identifying whether there is some overloading is there or some loose point is there, which is being used to identify whether there is uh, some some heating effects is being there or not. Second is how many voltage is required for an arc flash. So as per 70E thing, uh, it's not directly dependent on the voltage requirement. It's basically the amount of the short circuit available at a particular point, which can cause, which can release an incident energy of 1.2 cals per centimeter squared. That is basically the thing which make it uh, an R flash event, you can say, and 70 talks about that you have to put your safety measurements or the best practices for the incident energy greater than 1.2 cals per centimeter square. So this energy can be reached if you are working at 50 volts or less than 50 volts, or it can reach if you are working at 120 volts or 400 volts. So the R flash is basically linked with the amount of available short circuit there, and the how much the incident energy will be generated due to that arcing event. So it can occur at low voltage, it can occur at high voltage, or it might not going to occur at the low voltage if you have a good protection system is there and you are being able to isolate the fault correctly. So the 1.2 cals per centimeter square incident energy might not going to happen or going to reach if you are working at 400 volts as well, or it can happen if you are working at only 48 volts. So a study need to be performed in order to identify whether the incident energy at that particular location is 1.2 cals per centimeter square or not. Right.
Okay, do you have any question, you guys, and related to training, certification, or eligibility? Do ask questions, because we are basically the webinar is regarding training, certification. Any confusion regarding training, certification, eligibility requirement? You can switch on your mics. You can write over here. Okay, how many of you guys are interested in starting training, 40 hours training, so that we can plan our resources accordingly? Yes, Khurshid. How many of you guys, any of you guys is planning to start this training for certification? Yeah, Khurshid Mohammed. Okay. So Khurshid, are you planning to start your training? What's your education background? You can switch on your mic so that we can have better interaction. Wasif, we have, mics are switched on, participants.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So
Yes.
Khurshid, you can ask here. You can switch on your mic and you can ask your question here. You can be vocal.
Okay, I think Khurshid is, yeah.
10 plus 2 commerce is the what's that?
There is one requirement is that if you have 10 years of verifiable working experience with the power system, and you are non-electrical engineers and or you are non-electrician or electrical engineer, you can still go for the CSP certification. So you can be eligible. So copy of job certification is required only.
Okay, great.
If you have a 10
Okay,
years of working experience, you can be eligible for CSP.
Hawaii brand is raising hands. I think he's going to ask some question. Yes, Mr. Hawaii Brand. You have any question? So 40 hours training, some people are asking in the group, so what will be the schedule? Once we have enrolled candidates, so we will be in consultation with you guys. What will be the suitable days? It may be Friday, it may be Saturday, according to your availability and the trainer's availability. With mutual consent, we would schedule classes. This will be 2 days in a week, and we will finish around 40 hours Zoom live training. And once you complete that, we will issue NFPA 70E and electrical safety specialist certification that will be issued by SBIC USA, and that will be verified at SBIC USA website. And once you decide to go for NFPA exam, NFPA certification, you would apply to NFPA registration. You will purchase NFPA book, and you will sit for exam. It's a computer-based exam. Yeah.
ओ भाईजान अल्लाह माने बेडशीट करनी ना करने मेरी बेडशीट करनी ना करने तेल के साथ कंदी ना करने तेल के साथ हाँ यहाँ पे रखा ना बेडशीट को तेल नहीं लगना चाहिए
Yeah, please switch off your mic.
Tanzir.
Yeah, can you please switch off your mic, please, so that we can concentrate? Okay. I have received from Bass International. Okay, he has sent me direct message for the fee. Can you please DM me at WhatsApp or LinkedIn, so we can discuss about that? All right. Ishtiaq Rana. If I believe you have my WhatsApp number, I'm going to write here for everyone.
Right.
All right.
So one question is about the approved test centers. Right.
Yeah.
So they have outsourced it to Pearscon, Pearson's venue. So once your application is approved, they will going to send you a letter containing your unique student ID and a location from where you can log in and can select the test date and a center. So it's not like this that the tests are only available in certain months or certain dates. So it's up to you. So just like if you are going for some IELTS exam or any type of exam, you just book your test date and you walk in order to give the exam. So it will be similarly like this. So the test centers are available globally.
Okay, great. So something more about the program: 40 hours training required to write your exam. It's prerequisite, because before undergoing this training, you won't be able to sit for exam, certification exam of NFPA. And once you finish that, you will receive 2 certification from SBIC USA, a discounted package, which I just announced, $15.99 Saudi Arabia Real, or Arab Emirates Dirham, AED. It's valid for registration till November 28. And tentative date to start our classes for electrical safety training, 40 hours, is December 1st, 2022. All right. People are asking about this webinar certificate. Just post answer of a simple question in your LinkedIn wall, tagging SBIC America. What is that question? So if you are in our WhatsApp group of CESCP, we will post that question into that group. Just copy that group onto your LinkedIn wall with your answer and tag SBIC America, and we will happy to issue your certificate in your name, be issued by SBIC America, and that will be free of cost, free of charge. All right. So if you have any more question, you can ask. This is your opportunity. Ask your questions live, so we can respond to your questions. If you can also your questions later on at our LinkedIn, WhatsApp, we would be available to respond to your questions. If any question is not coming into your mind right now, Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Mr. Johar and Mr. Wasif for this great presentation. Just a quick question, what would be the deliverables like for this 40 hours training? Like, are we going to provide some sort of training material or certificate already you mentioned?
Right. Thank you. I appreciate. The deliverables will be, we will be providing you the course content, what we will be covering. So it will be around 500 pages of the material that is based on NFPA 70E standard plus NFPA 70E handbook. So I have delivered made those course content which covers both the thing. So that will be more than enough for you to prepare for the exam directly. In addition, we will be covering some CSP Q&A as well. That you won't be finding exactly in the exam, but the cornerstone or the main thing which we will be covering during the 40 hours, it will be around 200 questions which we will be discussing from different angle. So that will be more than enough for you to prepare for the exam as well.
Thank you very much. So nice.
Okay.
So I hope this responds to your question. So we will provide you complete course materials that would be enough to prepare for the exam, plus certification from SBIC, plus training. So all these are deliverables. Yeah. Any more question? Please come up your question, because if you ask question, this will clarify your confusion. If you are interested to grow your career. Basically, time is money. If you keep thinking that, a lot of people say, yes, I am interested, but they do not take a step. So you have to take a step, basically, because time is running very fast in a blink of eye. So decide now and start your program now. If you're thinking for the next batch, so next batch will come up after 6 months. So you are going to waste your time, and time is life. Agree or disagree?
Sir.
Yeah, walaikum salam.
Just I have a question about that. Just I seen with someone that in the status or safety officer, he is writing there grade IOSH plus MBA in the safety. So may I know about that? There is one MBA, Master Business. As you know, MBA is the other subject, but he says he did that MBA in the safety courses. So may I know about that, please?
What do you want to ask? You want to ask that MBA can go for safety career?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. See that it doesn't matter what's your background is, because what matters is your practical skills. There are a lot of people who have completed their just 12th grade. I have seen a lot of people in the safety field. If you're talking about hardcore safety, so I have seen a lot of people, they are just matriculated, they are just intermediate, but they have proved their worth in the field practically. You getting my point?
Yes, sir. But my question is that MBA related to in the safety field, safety subjects, or
Okay,
no?
okay.
This is the main MBA as a.
I got it. I got your question. See, safety, occupational safety and health is half technical and half business.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. A lot of people mistakenly think that it has no linkage with the business. No, you would be serving a business. A company is a business. So if you are not aware of business skills, for example, return on investment, cost benefit analysis, right?
Yes,
Management, people management, communication, soft skills, leadership, all these are related to business. So
yes.
how you, and regarding technical skills, yes, you should have hardcore technical skills like the topic we are discussing in this webinar, electrical safety, scaffold safety, crane safety, these are hard skills. So you must have hard skills, combination of hard plus soft, which is business.
Yes, sir. As we are doing as a health, environment, and safety, I got it your point. But my question is still that is the Master in Business Administration. This is the other. So is that any MBA in the safety subjects or no? It's except that.
You're asking that in MBA there is a safety subject, is there?
Yes. Yes. My question is there any subject or we can certify it from that?
Brother, you can go for MSc in occupational health and safety, you know, to cover your master's.
Yes. Yes. It's coming MSc after grade IOSH. But I am saying after the grade IOSH, we are going to MSc. Is there any part of to belong or related to MBA or no?
See, some organization here in the US, they are offering MBA in health and safety management. I have seen a few universities.
Yes,
I think 3 or 4 are there, online, offline, in person. You can go there. And there is organization which is offering mini MBA. It's a certificate program, mini MBA in health and safety management. Right. So all programs are all there, but it's up to your interest. Right.
Yes,
Not everyone
so I'm
would be
interested in
interested.
that. If you have, sorry, sir.
Yeah, okay.
If there are any courses like that for certification, so please inform. About
Sure,
that.
sure. No problem. No problem. See, our SafeCon is reputed to deliver soft skills training for our delegates, our students, followers. Join our training. We will deliver you soft skills training for free. Yeah, you know, business skills and soft skills training for free. And
Yes, sir.
join my group of soft skills training. Just DM me, direct message me at my WhatsApp. We will include you to our free soft skills and business skill training groups. Okay.
Sure, sure.
If you are interested. All right. So is there any more question? You feel free to ask. Please
Sir,
ask.
can I ask?
Yeah,
Can I
please go
ask? Sir, Assalamu alaikum, sir.
ahead.
I am Tazim from Pakistan and doing job in Pak Arab Refinery as a HSE engineer from 3 years. Sir, actually, I had done NEBOSH IGC in 2018. And now I want to ask from you that what course do you prefer for me in safety field like IDSC, IDIP or any other course which will
This is something, yeah. Thank you very
which
much.
will
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for asking this question at this platform. This is something which is related to career mentoring and career planning. I would highly appreciate if you can direct message me, because this
Okay,
is
sir.
purely individual. This is purely individual, and I would happy to assist you, right? And I would invest my time to help you and guide you. There's not an issue, but taking the advantage of this live webinar, we would like to disseminate as much as information for those who are looking for electrical safety career. For this
Okay.
this is highly important, right? So if you have question related to electrical safety, Wasif Naseem, Sayyid Wasif Naseem is our faculties here. I'm also here. You still have opportunity to ask questions. Electrical safety career, training, certification, growth.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, this is Khurshid here. Khurshid
Yeah,
Muhammad. I am from the Saudi Arabia. I am
Right.
working here at the Red Sea Airport International Airport.
Yeah, pleasure meeting.
As a safety officer, I have the experience in this field from last 10 years in the Saudi Arabia and 5 years in the Qatar. But just I have only one concern. Whatever the things Mr. Said he explained here regarding to NFPA, I was not aware about these all the clause, but these all things we implemented here, and our client was very strict. These all requirements, PPEs and the social distancing and the lotto, these all things. So, but I want to improve my more career in the electrical safeties, because electrical is very interesting, and if we give the more, but I don't have electrical educational level, only I have experience in the safety field. So
Yeah.
what will you prefer me to go for this course?
Yeah. Sayyid Wasif, if you are here, can you please respond?
Yes, sure. Thank you, Mr. Khurshid, and welcome. You have you told that you have 10 plus years of experience with domain of electrical system. So this fulfill the requirement as stated in table number 4 of the CSP handbook. So after this class, I will going to share those things with you people, and we're going to share right now as well. So that fulfill the requirement. So only requirement which is remaining is the 40 hours of electrical safety training if you are looking for CSP certification. So there are 3 requirements. One is the 40 hours of electrical safety training. Second is your qualification. Third is your experience. So you don't have a bachelor's degree, but you have equivalent 10 years of working experience. So that will going to fulfill the CSP requirements.
But in the experience, but this is the experience, it will not be written there, the electrical. The employer, they will give me the certificate as a safety specialist or safety officer or the safety supervisor. There will be no written there, the electrical background.
Because it said that facility/plant/factory safety professional with 200 hours, 10 years of verifiable working experience with electrical power system. So when you're applying those things, so it can be it can be explicitly considered that you have experience in domain of electrical safety. What other thing you can do? You can directly email NFPA with your current qualification and experience, and can ask NFPA whether if I complete a 40 hours of electrical safety training, will I be eligible for the CSP exam or not? So that will going to erase all the type of the confusion. If you are in the WhatsApp group, I will going to share that email address. You can directly email to NFPA with your valid points that if I get this 40 hours training, I will be eligible for the CSP. If they say yes, go for the CSP exam. Otherwise, go for the training only. The training will going to cover all the important informations and the thing which you required based on the NFPA 70, and you will be getting some 2 certificate from CEFCON that will also be helpful for you.
Yeah, of course. If you're not going for exam, CSP certification, so the training plus certification from SBIC America would also be helpful for you guys. If someone is not meeting requirements of exam, trust me that, because that will be verifiable certificate from the international website, US website as well. All right. And are you, Khurshid, are you in our WhatsApp group?
Yeah, I'm in that.
Okay, great. So interact in that group further. So we will have to respond to you. Yeah.
Link it also, and I'm also linked with you.
Okay, great. Very nice. There's another question. Wasif, would you please respond to this? ISO 50001. Lead auditor.
Okay.
I think
so
energy
this is related to energy management system.
Yeah.
So what actually he is asking in that domain? Benefits of to have ISO 55000, right?
Yeah.
So this is something not related to this program, but ISO 55000 definitely it's a very important certification right now, as the things are going towards the net zero, or energy issues are worldwide. So utilities or the industries are looking for getting certified against the ISO 50000 and energy management system certification, because energy bills are everywhere is an issue. So if you have applied the requirements of ISO 50000, so that means you are applying the best practices as per the ISO requirements.
Okay. Is there any more questions? If not, so we would like to disperse our meeting. It's a highly charged and high voltage webinar. I hope you guys have enjoyed. What do you say about the webinar? Any feedback? And if you love the webinar, please, can you please post the feedback at your LinkedIn wall? We would highly appreciate. We would love feedback. We would love your comments. Thank you. Thank you. If you would like to say a few words here, switching on your microphone, we would love to hear that. Did you enjoy the webinar? Do you think that the time you spent here was useful? It wasn't wasted, it was investment. Thank you very much, Sikandar Raza, Khurshid, Sikandar Raza, Mohammad Mujahid. And can you please post your feedback at your LinkedIn wall, tagging SBIC America? We are very active on the LinkedIn. Just tag SBIC America and post your feedback at your LinkedIn wall. We would highly appreciate your feedback regarding this webinar. And if any of your friend might be interested in this program, electrical safety, which is very, very, very important, So if any of your friend is interested, because not so much training organization, not so much training companies are offering this program, right? So SBIC America, which is already the market leader in ASP and CSP programs, is offering this unique program. Please take advantage of this highly energized program. Yeah. And you have my WhatsApp number. You are already in the WhatsApp group as well. If you will make your mind later on, consult with your friends, with your mentors, with your senior company leaders. They will definitely find this program highly, highly relevant and useful. You will feel pride on your decision, because having received your certification, CESCP, what will the benefits? Many times people ask this question. So you will be receiving much higher salaries compared to your peers. You will be writing CESCP certification after your name. Your name will be appearing in the NFPA directory at NFPA website. And this would be a sort of license. You will also be acting as an auditor as well for electrical safety compliance program. And you will be hitting all those dream jobs that requires electrical safety training and certification. So you would be, this will take your career to the next level, and you will be far ahead of your career, of your peers, right? So we will provide you recording of this webinar as well, and do join our WhatsApp group as well. I have shared my WhatsApp number as well, and connect me at LinkedIn. You can also connect me at LinkedIn. We are very active at LinkedIn pages, LinkedIn platform. And if you don't have any questions, so we would like to disperse our highly charged webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, Sayyid Wasif Naseem. Highly useful and articulate presentation. And Sayyid Wasif is the one who would be leading this program from the platform of SBIC America, who would be delivering this training, and he would be teaching this program. And all right. So you can also ask your questions later on at our any platform, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. We are very highly active and over there. So any question you will have in future regarding the eligibility, pricing, career opportunities, you are always welcome. We would happy to help you. We would happy to assist you. All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Happy and have a safe career ahead, and good night, because this is the night time in most parts of the world, Middle East, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. And I would say just that keep learning and keep growing in your career. That's the take home message.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, and Allah Hafiz, and stay charged. Don't discharge your battery. Stay charged.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So see you in electrical safety training program. Bye.
Inshallah. Thank you, sir.